What separates a good salon from one that's recognized as one of the very best in North America? Is it technical talent, beautiful social media, great leadership? Or is it something much deeper that clients feel the moment they walk through the door? Today, we're sitting down with the owners of Genesis Salon, recent winners of NAHA's Inspiring Salon of the Year, as well as Salon Today Top 200 Salon for Employee Education and Salon Culture. We're going to uncover the habits, the philosophies, and everyday decisions that helped earn them one of the industry's highest honors, but more importantly, what every salon can learn from their journey. Welcome to the Salon Scoop, the podcast that helps salon owners and salon professionals grow their business, boost their brand, and stay inspired. From salon marketing and social media to leadership and growth, we uncover the strategies and stories that move the industry forward. If you love learning, growing, and are serious about leveling up your salon business and brand, you've just found your new go-to podcast. Welcome back to another episode of the Salon Scoop, everyone. Today's episode is going to be a great conversation for anyone that is in a ownership, leadership, management position in what they do in our industry. Every year, the NAHAs recognize some of the very best that our industry has to offer. And while many of those categories celebrate incredible artistry, one award stands out because it recognizes something much bigger than beautiful hair. Right? The Inspiring Salon of the Year award celebrates salons that excel in culture, in leadership, in client experience, community impact, and their commitment to elevating our profession. It's the business side of our industry. Today, I'm joined by Sarah and DeAnna from Genesis Salon in Mobile, Alabama, the proud recipients of this year's incredible honor. And this salon was also recently recognized as a Salon Today Top 200 Salon for Education for employees, as well as salon culture. I want to be clear about one thing. Today's conversation is not about winning trophies, okay? It's about understanding what award-winning salons actually do differently so that every salon owner, manager out there who's listening can take ideas back to their own businesses. Right? Learn from the best practices. So in this episode, we're going to explore the leadership habits that have helped build an award-winning culture. We're going to check out how Genesis Salon creates unforgettable experiences for both guests and team members. We're also going to delve into some of the marketing and social media strategies that help tell their story and attract the right clients into their salon. So Sarah and DeAnna, congratulations, first of all, on this incredible recognition, and welcome to the Salon Scoop.
Thank you. We're happy to be here.
Yeah, this is great. And I know you have so much to share. So I want to delve in. But firstly, I think it's important just to sort of situate a little bit about yourselves so that our listeners kind of understand who you are, where you come from. So can you just tell us a bit about your background and the salon itself? You know, what were you doing before starting Genesis? How long has the salon been open? What service categories are we talking about? And how big is your team today?
I guess I'll start since I was actually the founder of Genesis 18 years ago. I've been in the industry for around 29 years. And before hair, there was hair. I mean, all my life it's been hair. So I knew that pretty much that was what I was going to do. As far as whenever I started Genesis, my goals for it, I didn't know. I was broke and just trying to figure out my way through the industry. We started out in 1,100 square feet with 4 employees. We quickly became a Summit Salon, a Redken Salon, and that was what actually gave me the direction and was able to help me and guide me with goals for my team and goals for the salon. I was a completely different leader 18 years ago than what I am today. And we were, like I said, in 1,100 square feet, country bumpkin. No one knew who we were. Whenever I would say I was from Mobile, Alabama, they were like, "Where's Mobile, Alabama?" So I made it my absolute mission to put Mobile, Alabama on the map and to go to every Redken class that we could possibly go to. I remember the first time that a Redken artist came to Genesis, and I was in awe of their humility, their education, their love for the industry. And at that moment, I knew that this industry was so much more than Mobile, Alabama, or even Genesis Hair Salon. And that was what I wanted to bring to the building. I knew that I wanted more. And so a few years ago, I became a Redken artist. And at that point, everything changed. Everything changed. For so many years, Sarah and I, once she became a partner with me 8 years ago, going on 9 years ago, she's been working for me for 16, 17 years. So we actually moved from 1,100 square feet into 6,500 square feet, went from 4 employees. We have 50 employees now. We have an apprenticeship program that always has a waiting list.
We have a spa.
We have a huge spa. Tess Millard helped us design that because of Randy Kunkel with Summit, because we're a Summit salon. And when you are in that circle with Summit and Redken, they just take care of you. And any need that you have, they put you in touch with the right people. And Sarah and Genesis is who we are today because of the people in our lives that's poured into us for 18 years. Yeah. So we cannot take all of the credit for this company and where we are today and the awards that we've won. God's just blessed us through this entire journey because it has been a lot of fetal positions and a lot of crawling and crying and wondering what have we gotten ourselves into. But we do it to help this industry, and we want to change the industry. We want people to look at it differently than they have before. I mean, there's a lot of money in this industry. We want there to be retirement one day. Who's ever heard of retirement for a hairstylist? Not very many, but that's our mission for Genesis. We have insurance and 401k and the ability to buy in and become our partner because I want Genesis to outlive us by far. I want our ceiling to be our employees' floor.
It's a great vision to have, and we're gonna delve into some of these things that you've been able to build. That's pretty incredible to go from 1,100 square feet, 4 employees to over 6,550 employees.
Yeah.
Sarah, do you want to just kind of give us a quick? It sounds like you were working in the salon for a while and then became a partner. Maybe just tell us a little bit quickly about your background and how you got into this.
I graduated cosmetology school. I actually have family who are in the industry, so I was very familiar with how the traditional like booth renters and just kind of coming in, getting some cash, going home and going shopping or whatever, paying the bills, that type of lifestyle. And I knew I wanted to do hair. I started school for business, and so I've always had a love for that, but I quit and hair took over that. Took precedence over that. Started working for DeAnna not long after graduating cosmetology school. We kind of felt like kindred spirits, I feel like, when we first connected, even in our first interview. She told me, she was like, I knew God brought you to me for a reason. And, all these years later, I feel like that reason's very apparent. I trusted her, and she was a new Summit salon at the time. And I remember, it's so funny. I remember her telling me, she was like, we just became Summit. I don't really know what all this means, but we're going to do it and we're going to figure it out together. And we're going to Redken Symposium next year. I don't really know what that is either, but we're going. And like, it's just a lot of education. And it was just because, this was, almost 20 years ago at this time. And we started going through all the Redken specialists, master specialists, programs together, and just kind of, I always, even though I wasn't an owner at that time, I always treated Genesis as my own, and in the most respectful way, of course. I took pride in it. I always had her back. I was there for her when other people weren't. And then she asked me to go to Summit with her, and we were like, okay, we either are going smaller or we're going bigger, and like we're gonna leave and just the two of us do it, or we're gonna partner together and grow. and we jumped in and
Head first.
head first, and whew, it was a lot. I partnered with her, I think, in like 2018. We built out the space we're in now, and it's been a roller coaster ever since then. We had rapid growth. We had moments where, like she said, we went through COVID. We went through, we've had walkouts. We've dealt with everything I feel like you can deal with. And if we haven't dealt, I don't really want to know about it if we haven't dealt with it yet. But yeah, and we're here now, and I feel like this year has been very emotional for us. It's been very like
Humbling.
It's been very humbling. That to know that our hard work over all these years we feel like it's paid off.
Yeah. Well, clearly it's been a journey. And I think, that's one key message right off the bat that everybody out there who might still be in the fetal position of, not knowing where they are needs to get their head around is that, what, this is a journey. It's a marathon. No one's going to achieve, huge success in a couple of years. And you are going to go through, the ups and downs. You might go through a period where you think, okay, I got it. Everything is rolling. And then all of a sudden, you may have a walkout and that you kind of took you completely by surprise and you have to start over. But success leaves clues. And already by the introduction that both of you ladies have shared, there's a lot of clues that I've picked up on about things that identify how you've been able to persevere through some of those things, how you've been able to, be the one, Sarah, that was essentially by DeAnna's side and selected to go from, starting at the salon at the cosmetology school to now being a partner in the business. I mean, that in and of itself is an incredible journey. So let's delve into a lot of the different elements that have gone into creating the successful salon that you have today. And I want to start with culture. Okay. We actually did an entire episode on the Salon Scoop about salon culture in August 2025 that I would encourage our listeners to go, save and check out later. Culture is often talked about, but rarely defined. And it's hard to define it. If someone walked into Genesis Salon today or tomorrow, what would they feel? What would that consumer feel that makes your culture different?
Immediately, I would say that we are a team. We work like a well-oiled machine together. We have a lot of team that have been here for many years. They have kids that work for us now, so it's coming full circle. And those kids were here eating snacks and watching cartoons in the break room while mom was on the floor working. So you would definitely see very much we try to go above and beyond to get to know the guests that come in here, even if they're not our guests, so that when they come in, we can be like, hey, so-and-so, how are you? How's your kids? How was vacation? So that we're always interacting amongst one another. It's a very educational salon. From the front of the salon to the very back of the salon, we're working upbeat. I say leave that baggage at the front door so that when you come in, you can be fully there and aware of who is walking in the door, what they're doing, what they're going through, what they're talking about, and then you can pick it back up, but I would leave it when you leave, so that we are fully here when we're here and we can give our best, because we only have most of the employees, we have 6-hour shifts. We work split shift. So that way, 6 hours, we can be fully there and then go home and be with our families and be fully there.
Nice. That's pretty impressive. What would you say? You're talking a little bit up there about, the 6-hour shifts. What other, systems or rituals exist in your salon that help protect that culture, right? So that it continues throughout the years.
We have monthly team meetings for 2 hours, and we go over housekeeping and awards, all the good things that are going on, goals that have been achieved by the team. We
Any problems they're having,
education that is coming up, because we have lots of artists coming in at least every other month, and then we have in-house education. because we feel like our team, man, I feel like our team is so even 10,000 times better than me when I started in this industry.
Yeah.
So I remember when things started shifting, especially after COVID, that I was like, how do I talk to the younger generation? Like, I don't understand their verbiage. And it was frustrating for a hot minute, but I'm one that when you introduce a problem, I'm going to figure it out. So, coaching our team to be better, do better, whatever it was that they wanted to achieve. And this younger generation, it was just, it was like foreign language to me. So, what I did learn is that we put them in leadership positions because they can run social media better than I can. They're watching influencers constantly on their phones. Let's get them to teach whatever is happening right now, whatever is really cool. Like, let's get them to teach. Let's put them in front of one another. They don't want to just watch Sarah and I. They want to learn from one another. Photography. We've had our team come in and teach photography because social media is all about what it looks like.
Right.
You could do the best balayage, root mount, whatever the case may be, but if you can't photograph that, did it really happen? You know, it's got to be a certain way. And so we've had them come in and teach those classes because they teach them better than we do. And we love watching them. We love watching them. So putting them in leadership positions and letting them tell us what their goals are. And it doesn't even have to be here, Scott. It could be, what is their personal goals? What is their home goals? Do they want to buy a house? Do they want to get married? Do they want to move into their first apartment, buy their first car, have their first kid, go on vacation? Okay, well, let's sit down and look at how that
make that happen.
Yeah.
I think that's such an important part of it, is understanding people's motivations, because it's different, right? Everybody is different. And you know, in a leadership position, you cannot treat everybody the same. You cannot project your own views and your own motivations and think that everybody else has the same one. You've got to get to know your people, because that's how you can, you know, help to guide them, you know, help to inspire them towards and empower them towards their specific goals and objectives that they have. I love how you talked about, you know, the younger generation and how you're kind of empowering them into leadership roles. Because a lot of salons struggle. They say, you know what, like, we have a perfect, you know, team. We're such a family, and they're scared sometimes to bring in new people that might disrupt that feeling, that sort of culture that they've built. How do you hire, right, with this sort of culture in mind? What qualities maybe matter most when you're looking at bringing new people into your company?
You want to say it together?
Humility.
We look for humility. That is the very, very first quality that we look for. I can teach you how to do hair. I can teach a mechanic how to do hair. I cannot teach you to be kind.
No.
And
or willing.
Willing to learn. Willing to learn. Like, we are a salon full of education, and you have got to be. That can be overwhelming for some people, and we understand that we're not for everybody, and that's okay. But we are for somebody, and education is huge. It would be humility first, education second, being coachable third, like being able to, because we have an associate program here. So even if you've graduated from cosmetology school, you still come in, and we call it a graduate program, so that you're able to stand beside a lead stylist, and you're able to learn the verbiage. You're able to learn how to do a killer consultation, because I remember when I started, I cried through men's cuts. Literally, I don't even know why these guys would come back to me, because I would cry through the entire service. This industry is not always easy, and it can be overwhelming. And most of us in this industry have ADHD or anxiety or what. And if you don't, I'm not sure that you're really telling me the truth, because I mean, we desire to do incredible work and change someone's lives behind the chair. Do you
Yeah,
agree?
absolutely. I mean, I feel like the majority of cosmetologists and just people in our service industry, you know, our estheticians, our massage therapists, the sugarists, makeup artists, all of the above, we're all very creative, you
Beings.
know. And so I feel like when we interview and when we're initially talking to them, you do those qualities have to stand out, because if they come in with too much ego, or if they're just not willing, or they're, and like she said, we may not be the salon for them, and that's okay, and we tell them that.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
we definitely, that's how we protect our culture, is we don't want to bring them in. And we've made mistakes, like we've hired the wrong ones, or we've hired the people who, you know, were awesome in the interview, and then, you know, we see them in the salon and we're like, what happened?
Yeah. And unfortunately, we've learned to have to get rid of that, because it can be a cancer that grows and spreads very quickly. And we have a duty to our team to protect that, you know. And if we see it, and I'm going to be honest with you too, there have been people that we've almost fired, and then I've called them in the office and I've just had a heart to heart, and I'm like, hey, like, where are we at? What's going on? Help me understand what you're thinking. And, you know, should I move you somewhere else in the salon? Should I put you with a different lead stylist? And I'm going to be honest with you, sometimes the most minor changes that we've done makes a person bloom. I'm talking like, we're like, oh my gosh, where was that person to begin with? Like, thank you, Lord, that I did not let them go, that I was able to give them a chance to show me who they really are.
Well, that clearly speaks to strong leadership, to be able to identify, and incredible communication, because you have to be able to have those conversations, be willing to have those conversations. So a lot of people would just be scared to maybe confront somebody, and would just go ahead and fire them and not have that opportunity. So to build great culture, you need to start with great leadership. And I'd love to hear from each of you individually and share one leadership lesson, a quick one, right, that you've each learned over the years that maybe completely changed the way that you lead your team and is now helping you to have a positive influence on that culture.
Mine would be, no matter how long I'm in this industry or how long I've owned Genesis, I have to be in the trenches with them. That's where they want me. Salon owners are trying to make their way out of the salon and not be here as much. I've watched some of that being taught, but with me and Sarah and Genesis, like, our team loves us here and they love us to work with them. Sometimes I volunteer to be their associates to remind them that I'm no better than they are. I don't like to be called their boss. I like to be called their teammate. That's how I refer to them, not as my employee, but as my teammate. And to be able to pivot, because I'm older and I need to be able to change with culture. You know, things change and I need to be able to see it that way. And Redken has really taught me a lot about that. I can't lie. Going into different salons all over the world and the United States, like, watching what works for other people and introducing that into our salon and making it a safe space for my people. Like, I've learned that if they feel safe in our space, they're going to be able to be creative and grow. So, pivoting and showing grace, getting in the trenches with them, never not coming to work, and growing with them.
That's great. Sarah, what's a leadership lesson that you have learned which has changed the way that you lead your team and influence the culture of the salon?
Yeah, a lot of what she said, I absolutely agree with, and completely, like, I believe those things too. For me personally, it was having to meet people where they're at and, like, really try to
Yes.
and I will say we have a great manager who is like, I feel like DeAnna and I are so much alike, but we're so different in a lot of things too. And I feel like that's what makes the perfect combination for us. And then our manager also helps bring balance to that. And sometimes if, I'm feeling a way about a situation, she's feeling a way, or whatever, our manager can really help, like, okay, here, like,
Navigate.
let's talk this through and figure out the balance here. So we have to mention her for sure.
Well, there's so many insights here. I hope that everybody is listening attentively, because you can pick up, different practices, from each of these ladies. Lots coming through here. I want to switch gears and delve into client experience a little bit. There's a famous quote from Maya Angelou that says, "People will forget what you said and forget what you did, but they'll never forget the way you made them feel." And your guest experience in your salon was another key reason for your recent awards. I'd love to know, what are some of the intentional things that you do that maybe clients don't even notice, but it actually makes all the difference?
Kind of what we said earlier about just going around, and like, I'm thinking of a situation the other day. One of my, he may pull something from the first part of what I'm about to say. One of my clients was seeing another stylist in here, because we tend to also share clients a lot. And I mean, even though they are commission and we're a Summit Salon, it's just, she's a very booked stylist, I'm a very booked stylist. And so it's just sometimes, and so we share clients a lot. And I went up to her the other day and I said, hey, I just saw on Facebook, Miss So-and-so, her mother-in-law passed away, just heads up. And she was like, oh, I didn't see that. Okay. And so and like what she said, how we try to get to know, we really do go around. Like, I've known of customers coming in who, have been going through, I know that they just found out they had cancer, or they just found out this, like, hey, let's, treat them extra special today, or hey, let's, really fill out where they're at and see what they can afford, what we can do, how can we work with them, how can we make their day better and their experience better. And I truly think, and our whole team, not just DeAnna and I, but our whole team really does value that. And
we've had plenty of times where they come up and say, hey, it can come out of my paycheck, but can this service be on me? They're having a hard time. And we're like, no,
that's not coming out of your paycheck.
It's not coming out of your paycheck.
Take care of it.
You will still get paid, but you take care of the client. And our guests, like, they get so excited about what we're doing, and the teaching and the education in the salon, and loving on them and learning their names. And, just like I said, from the very front, our front desk, people acknowledging everyone that walks through the door with a smile, and they leave with a smile, have a blessed day, have a good day, even phone calls, just trying to really just give the best client experience that we can possibly give. And there's been so many times where we've had guests come in. We were talking about this yesterday. A guest years ago had a son that was 14, had testicular cancer, and we raised money to be able to give her cash for her son. She was a single mom. We have had a client in here one time that she was actually my client. Her house caught on fire while she had highlights and lightener in her hair, and the team just took over the rest of my clients, and I was able to get her home and stay with
rinsed
her
really quick.
Yeah,
You
get her
can't leave
rinsed.
with lightener in your hair.
And I drove her home, and we watched her house burn down together. I was holding her, hugging on her, and then we've had one that will always stand out to me. It was 7 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night, and a client had come in and felt safe enough to be able to let us know that her boyfriend had dropped her off and to get her hair done, and he was going to murder her that night.
She was saying.
And so the team let Sarah know, called me. We were able to get the police department, our husband's up here, and we were able to make a space to get her into
a local shelter for women. Yeah.
We were able to get her out of our back door and get him arrested and taken care of, and she was taken to a safe space. So I feel like clients know and feel that safety here, that we truly do love them. And when I said a few minutes ago about creating a safe space for our team, it's to create a safe space for our clients, because we don't know what they're going through. We have no idea. And that's meeting them where they are and trying to decipher, what we need to do for them while they're here. So there's been so many things that has happened over 18 years of being in this space that make me want to cry, because we've changed lives. We are a part of bigger things than us. And that you can't ask for more than that, because
double chills when you shared those two stories.
Yeah, you can't ask for more than that. I say all the time, people are like, and they'll see me in public and they'll be like, "You're growing people doing good hair." And I said, "No, I really just want to grow good people. I want to grow good people. Sarah and I want to grow good humans that love other humans, and to give a space for inclusivity, so that everyone feels welcome here and loved here." Sorry, that probably went way.
No, that's fantastic, because it went really deep on different things that are happening within a top salon that represent an amazing guest experience. And it shows that it's not just, listening and, talking to them about their family. You have examples that you've shared that sent, chills for me, like I said, of really going above and beyond. And I always say, like, those types of things, if you can find an opportunity to go above and beyond for a client, and it may not be in such as a dire of a situation that you said that your house is on fire, their boyfriend said they're going to murder them, and those are extremely high level urgency situations. Maybe there's even just they're coming to an appointment and they get a flat tire and they call, they're running late, and and if someone is able to actually go and maybe either get them back, or help them figure it out while they're getting their hair done, so that a tow truck comes or something, like little things like that can go so far, not just for that one
food
or whatever, not just for that one client, because that builds your reputation, then that word spreads to others about, wow, how they're really taken care of. Maybe not everybody's going to have some of these scenarios, but let's try to go granular. A couple simple things. If another salon owner wants to elevate their guest experience in their salon starting tomorrow, what's one or two simple things you'd recommend that they focus on first?
Their team has to be in unison to be able to give that whole guest experience. So they need to work on their team, and to greet and speak. Everyone needs to speak to that guest. Front desk needs to acknowledge and ask all the questions, and a great consultation. A consultation starts from the time they walk in the door to the time that they leave. So being sure that your team has the correct verbiage, a great consultation, all the teams on the same page. those are just a couple of things that, and we could keep going, but
No, that's great. It's sort of a starting point for tomorrow. I think making sure that guest feels welcomed throughout their entire visit, from the initial greeting to whoever they come into contact with, so that they actually feel part of the salon family, I guess, so to speak. Great, great advice. Let's talk a little bit about community involvement. That was one of the criterias in the NAHA Award for Inspiring Salon of the Year. Why has giving back become such an important part of your salon's identity? What's the why behind that?
we would be nothing without our community. From the very beginning, we have given to our community, doing outreach with the homeless, Ronald McDonald House,
Try to go there.
cancer. We do a lot of cut-a-thons for cancer. Like I said, we raise money for our client that had a son that had testicular cancer. We do
back to school kids cutting events with the community. I mean, like she said, you're nothing without your community, and we're such a large salon. We are the biggest salon in Mobile, and so why would we not utilize that and do for our community as much as we can, and be involved as we can? I mean,
we do tons.
They support us.
We do a lot for like the orphanages here. We're constantly, there's so many things we've raised money for: school supplies, animal shelter. We love animals.
We'll ask our team occasionally too in team meetings, like if we don't have something on the pipeline, we're like, who has,
let's do something different.
What do y'all want to do? Like, who has,
we did a daddy-daughter night where we were able to teach dads how to fix their daughter's hair, and made it a whole event on a weekend that was beautiful. We loved that. Was huge and so much fun.
We need to do that again.
So let's talk about the impact that some of this has beyond the financial donations and whatnot that you're able to make in the community. A lot of salons don't think this way. Don't think, oh, okay, well, the community is supporting me, so therefore we should be doing things, and they're maybe a little bit too focused on earning money, and a lot of salons are struggling financially and don't feel like they can give back. Where do you think the impact comes of having a clear purpose for your salon outside of making money, and that the impact that can actually have long term on your team and on your company?
So one of the most profound statements I've ever heard came from Randy Kunkel when I met him at Summit 19 years ago. And he said, when you quit worrying about the money comes. Mm-hmm. So when you're pouring into people, I know you, I gave you some back information before today saying that I lived in a camper with my family because I had no money, but I made sure that my salon didn't know, that everyone was taken care of. And for 7 years, we were not profitable, not profitable at all. So when I tell you that I understand even how I got Summit in and Redken and all the things, you just have to step out on faith. And when you're pouring into other people, they pour back into you. We worked, and then in our downtime, it would be Saturday afternoon when we closed, then we would do a cut-a-thon, or a Sunday when we were closed, do whatever we needed to do. And that people started noticing us, and people started hearing about us, and they wanted to be a part of that. So for salons out there that don't have a lot of funds or extra money, we started with no money. Listen to me loud and clear. There was no money. And you just do what you have to do. And again, like I said, when you pour into people, they pour back into you.
Yeah. And I mean, God gave us this talent for a reason. So use it. I mean, the cut-a-thons and the 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 shows, the events, the things in your community like that you don't always have to pay to be a part of. Like you don't I mean,
No.
you use your talent.
Yeah,
and
you
go
use your
cut some
talent.
hair and
And you
change
just
some lives.
volunteer and you just give
Yeah.
things away. And I will say this, so many people have come up to me and said, how did you get that award? How do you do that? What do you got to do? And I was like, hey, slow down. It took me 18 years to be at the point that I felt like this team was the team that deserved this award.
Yeah.
Not me and Sarah.
Yeah.
It wasn't about, oh, we own a salon and it's profitable, it's good, it's great, we have talent. It took us 18 years to find the team that deserved this award, most inspiring. They are some of the most inspiring people I've ever been around in my life. You don't go after an award for like this for. I tell my kids and my Redken team, because I'm a Redken artist, my Genesis team and my family at home is my team. I tell them all the time, God didn't make you for mediocrity. He made you for greatness. And this team is great. And it could fall apart. Don't misunderstand me. We've gone through walkouts we never thought that we would go through, which triggered me to become a Redken artist a few years ago when we had a walkout like that we weren't expecting. I said, it's highs and lows when you're a business owner. You never know what's going to happen. But all that made me want to do is dig deeper and climb higher. It made me want to prove to the ones that have stayed, I'm here and we're going to do whatever it takes to make the salon the best that it can possibly be.
Well, we wouldn't have won the NAHA for most
Years
inspiring
ago.
salon with the team we had and with the leaders we were. I mean, I'm just going to be completely transparent.
We're completely different leaders because of a walkout.
Those moments change you, and it forces you to look at yourself and say,
and be bitter or be better.
Yeah,
be bitter or be better. And we're not going to be bitter. Life's too short. It's too short.
No.
Even if I wake up in a bad mood, I'm like, I might be in a bad mood because I'm not normally in a bad mood. Like, life is a treasure and you should not waste it. And I want to like scream it from the mountaintops to other salon owners, like, it, this too shall pass.
Yep.
If you're in the valleys right now, like, call me. I'll love on you. I will.
Well, we're trying to get the message out through this podcast. There's an incredible amount of both practical insights as well as just sort of there's a inspiration is pouring out of you. I think it's hard not to listen to you and feel like other people are going to want to come and be part of your team in some capacity, which I think is a testament to. I mean, culture is infectious. It's a thing that just kind of like draws people in, and clearly you have that. Not just because of the two of you, like you said, but because of everything you've built your team together. Let's touch a little bit about education, because I know you had won or been recognized by Salon Today as a top 200 employee education company as well. And I'm curious to know sort of what that looks like in your salon company in terms of an education program, or what makes you different in that regard, that's helping your salon grow again in a way that other salons could potentially learn and benefit from.
Well, first of all, we're a Black level salon, so we get a lot of education for free. And we're able to use our points to get even more education. Mm-hmm. So I said in the beginning that humility is the first thing that we look for in someone, and then education would be the second, because even me in this industry for 29 years, I'm constantly watching videos and going to classes to see what I can learn and pivot and do something different, and learning from the kids out there on our floor and our spa. Like, our spa is amazing. And so we have an apprenticeship program because our cosmetology schools in Mobile are great, but we're growing at a fast pace. So to be able to
accommodate that.
Yeah, we decided years ago that we were going to do the apprenticeship program and then have the associate program. So they go through a graduate program. Once they graduate from cosmetology school, they come here, they go through an associate program before they go on the floor. So when they go on the floor, their checks are already really big. And they have the verbiage and the emotion. They're emotionally ready to deal with a client from beginning to end. And I want you to understand, and everyone listening too, Sarah and I don't always get it right.
No.
We don't always say things right. We don't always do it right, but we're trying. And we've changed exponentially over 18 years. When something doesn't work out, we try to pivot and change to make it better. And I'm sure we're going to have to change a whole lot more as we're open, because I said again, when I'm dead and gone, I want Genesis to be the same safe space to house people, to grow them, and to give them financial freedom and a safe space to be who they were created to be. So education is like the forefront of everything we do in our industry.
Yeah, I mean, a celebrity goes and gets a new hairstyle or new hair color, and suddenly all of your guests are coming in wanting that.
Yes.
So you have to know, and I mean, I think that's why it's crucial to have, you know, your loyalty to a brand or a collection of brands, like, you know, Redken,
Under
PPD,
L'Oreal.
you know. That happens to be ours, and we will, you know, die on that hill.
We will die on that hill.
Because they've supported us over the years, and there's been times that we've talked to the people there and we're like, hey, we're not happy about this and how this is going. And I will say that they do listen, they do hear you out and try to meet you where you're at, and they've always been great to us. And so, I mean, and I feel like, this is just my personal opinion, and I know DeAnna would agree, but I feel like there's no other education like Redken and how they and, you know, L'Oreal and the brands underneath them, and it's just a different caliber. And I'm happy that we're able to provide that for our team, because, you know, many years ago we had to pay for that out of our own pockets, and they still have to pay some for certain things, but a lot of it they get complimentary because of us being Black level. So thank you, Redken, for that one.
Yes.
Yeah, it certainly does help. I mean, we're not here to, you know, promote one brand over another. I mean, anyone out there can have, you know, partnerships. I think the key message that I'm hearing is you need to find your community of support partners, because it's out there. And the more that you know, are loyal to, you know, one company, one brand, one distributor, the more that they're going to be supporting you back, and they're going to open up more opportunities. And you can't do this alone. Right? It's just too difficult. You need to have support out there and find the right people. You know, there's tons of people in this industry that want to support. The more that you kind of jump, you know, both feet first, and connect with the right partners, they're going to support you through your journey as well. And everybody has to lean on each other at different points in time.
Right. And I do want to say, like, I'm sorry, but this kind of stood out to me. Our manager suggested a few years ago that DeAnna and I, we had all these certificates and certifications and just, you know, awards that we have obtained over the year for our own, just for mine and DeAnna's accomplishments. And one day she was like, why don't we hang these in the office? Like, just put these all up on a wall. And I wish I could show you. It's definitely not this one. It's across from me. That's what made me think about it. And I've noticed since it's pretty massive. And I'm not saying that for our own ego. I mean, I'm not going to lie. When she hung them, we were like, whoa, like that's, wow. Okay. Like, and I will say, since we've started doing our interviews, the first thing I notice when a potential employee sits down, they're just like, whoa, like what? And I feel like that has kind of helped, because not only do we preach it, we practice it. And those have our names on them, not Genesis, not our employees. They have their own collections. Like, those are in mine and DeAnna's office as our own. And so I feel like that does help. Like, they're serious here. They really do know what they're talking about this stuff.
And our team has won awards amongst our industry too, outside of Genesis. So that speaks volumes also.
Yeah.
Yeah, that establishes trust. It establishes credibility, you know, which are important, you know, both to future hires and, you know, the your community of guests alike, for sure. And some of these things I'm sure you talk about on, social media, because what we haven't gotten into yet, I want to just touch quickly is,
Yeah.
we're a digital marketing company, so dedicated to the salon industry. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you a few questions about your marketing. And clearly you have a beautiful online presence, and we would encourage everyone to go and check out your work on Instagram at Genesis Salon. Um, what types of content have created the strongest connection with your audience? Not necessarily the most likes, but just because you're all about culture and community and client experience. What would you say is the right content types out there that are working the best for your salon on social media?
So I will say that the content that we post that generates the most engagement are the reels about them showing themselves and having fun, and
Culture.
It's the word of the day, culture. And the post, celebrating them, their promotions, their awards, the birthdays, those are the ones that get a lot of traction. And the funny ones, whether they're trending or not, like, clients love seeing that. And I feel like it also helps for future hires as well, because they see that we do like to have fun here. We're not just, this serious place where you come do hair, go home, and come to education when we require it, what I mean? And so it's not like that at all. And so we like to show that we're having fun here too.
And we've turned our social media team into a marketing team. We don't call them social media. We call them our marketing team. We have meetings with them, and we have definitely gotten the younger generations. It's all ages on our marketing team. So it's a huge group effort in our social media. I knew that Sarah and I, we had a huge talk in January, and we were like, we want 2026 to show who we are for sure. Let's invite whoever wants to be on these teams. Let's get them in, and we're going to have meetings, and we're going to have, really get our thoughts out there, so that one certain person is not running everything. We have this person that wants to do this person that wants to do this. That way it's collaborative, and it is beautiful. It's working very well.
I'm gonna try to send you back in time to when you were the 1,100 square foot salon with small 11. I think it was 11 employees at the time. Four, sorry, yeah, in 1,100 square feet, 4 employees, exactly, perfect. Because a lot of salons out there are they're not at your size and level right now, with time. So if we're gonna give some advice to people out there that are running a small team in a small space, and what advice would you give salon owners who know that they need to be creating more content for their marketing, social media that goes onto the salon page, but they're feeling overwhelmed and don't know where to start? What would your advice be for them?
What she just said, finding people to help you, because we were that. She ran it way back in the day, and then I took over. That was kind of more my speed. And I have been doing it with the help of one or two people here and there for the last several years. And then the ball kept getting dropped. I'm just going to be completely transparent. I'm a busy stylist behind the chair. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, I'm all the things too. And so and then when we formed the team, we didn't come in and tell them, you're doing this, you're doing that. We let them, if you want to be on this and you want to help with this, we compensate them in the way that they choose to be compensated, whether that's, monetary, whether that is services, whether that's education, whether that's, we have a small clothing boutique up front if they want to get clothes, like whatever made you happy and how you would like to be compensated for this, for your help. Then we took it a step further, and we're like, okay, what kind of content do you want to create? This is what I need. This is what the business needs. What are you comfortable doing? And I've got one girl who does a lot of the, informational and educational posts. I've got another one that does the funny trending posts. I've got another one for birthdays and anniversary posts. And then I'll kind of, I fill in the gaps wherever they're needed. And then obviously from the business side, like if I see an area we need to grow financially, or we need to grow and get them busier, I'm like, let's promote this, let's do this. And I'm going to make a post for that. And so it can be done. It is overwhelming. And I also used to think, like, our audience doesn't want to see this. I don't know.
Just post it.
Post it. And I also try to follow the big, like, I don't have a ton of training in this. I'm learning as I'm going and taking classes and courses as I can. But I'm watching some of the big names and the big brands post and seeing like the time of day they're posting and what they're doing and how to get their engagement like kind of similar. And I feel like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
And I will say, for the 10 years we were super small and broke in the beginning, just we have so much more like that we can do for free. Set your phones up all day long and just push record. And when you're done with a client, stop it or keep recording, because you may have like fun videos.
Yeah, you may capture that moment.
You can literally just, even with Redken, we have to do lots of social media being an artist. So I just set if I'm working on a mannequin, if I'm working on clients, I just set my phone up and start recording. And record yourself doing your clients, or set your client's phone up even, and let them, and they're going to post for you. They will take that footage and they will post for you. And I'm not going to lie, even way back when, I had to hire, as cheap as I could find, people to help me, like website companies, whatever, until we learned how to do a lot of it ourselves. Like,
now it's just a different time now, though. You don't even, I mean,
just record, make the videos, post the videos, because it's the ones that you don't even think would matter, and they get millions of views. So just post the video. It's okay. And enter the contest, because you never know.
Yep.
It's great advice. Just don't get stuck in your head. Don't be waiting for, the perfect moment or the perfect picture or the perfect video. Do everything you can to get your own self-consciousness out of the way that's holding you back because you don't like the sound of your voice, or you don't like to see yourself on video. Other people don't care.
No.
So
people want to just be real.
Yeah.
Completely.
Real people.
DeAnna and Sarah, this has been a powerful conversation filled with so much goodness. I want to close our conversation on one final question, but before I get there, I do want to quickly just again acknowledge the two of you for the incredible passion that you are clearly putting into what you are achieving. So again, everyone, success leaves clues. And, the biggest clue that I've picked up on here is that these ladies care. They care about people. They care about the community. They care about giving back. They care about wanting, to be better themselves. And it's a constant journey, and they care about wanting others to be better. They're not trying to focus on building a certain business with certain, numerical, targets, and they're just driving to reach a financial goal. They're just working to make their team better. They're just working to do good things in the community. Your passion and the genuineness is coming out loud and clear from you. So I want to acknowledge you for that, because it takes these individuals like yourselves in our industry to help raise, the entire industry as a whole. And I think you're very inspiring, and I hope that your message will touch many people to want to kind of follow in that same path. I think if we all, can kind of be aligned in terms of that vision of just wanting to kind of help, to care about people and make things better, add value everywhere we can around us, that we're all going to do so much better together. So thank you for that. If people do want to reach out to you, either because they're like, oh my gosh, I got to work there, or you know what, I want to get some more insights. I want to connect with these people. I want to be inspired. I want to share. I want to ask them follow-up questions. What's the best place for them to reach out and connect with you?
Our Instagrams, our personal one and the salon one, and our salon email, like I said, social media for sure. obviously DeAnna manages her own, and then I manage the salon. So we will see it, even if it's this question for DeAnna specifically, for me specifically, I will make sure it gets where it needs to go. So yeah.
Perfect. So we're going to put them in the show notes. Do you want to just drop verbally your personal Instagrams where people can reach out?
I always blank out on this, and I don't know why. My name's like it's my name. Like,
I'm DeAnna underscore Clifton 2.
And then I am Sarah Morris Poiroux. And then the salon is Genesis _ Salon and Spa.
Perfect. So we'll have all those in the show notes for everybody to be able to connect with and follow along with the amazing journey that you are on, and obviously will continue to be on. Lots to learn from. I want to close, like I said, with this one final question, and this is going to be a generic advice. So imagine a salon owner listening today who's never going to win a NAHA award, okay, but they do want to build a salon that they're proud of. What is one piece of advice that you would leave with them to get started on that journey towards building a salon that's going to be successful, that they're proud of?
I'll let you start.
To show grace, to know that this too shall pass. It's going to be highs and lows. To enjoy the journey, because it's the ordinary days that make extraordinary days. And if you are too focused on one goal, you're missing so many days getting there. And in those ordinary days, incredible things happen. Enjoy every minute of it. It's a blessing, whether you believe that or not. You're going to get something out of it when you look back. Even the bad times, I can look back now and know why they happened to me, and they make me better. I'm not ever going to be bitter. I'm going to be better. And just smile and do it, post it, and send it into the contest, because you never know if you're going to win or not.
And not to get hung up on the negative. I mean, I feel like in our world with social media today, it's so easy to chase after, like, why am I not this? Why am I not that? Or, I mean, I do want to add to this. We're not perfect. We still, because we are an education salon, we have a few unhappy clients here and there. And I mean, I'm huge on these social media groups, like local ones. I will troll them. And if I see somebody who had a bad experience or a less than experience here, I'm quick to hop on it and be like, hey, look, I'm one of the owners. I would love to hear more about this. I would love to help you out. Would love to make sure you're taken care of. And it took a while to get to that point and not just shut down when I saw stuff like that. And, and then I talked to other salons, and they deal with it. We all deal with it. We're a staff of 50 people, and we've, been open for 18 years. Of course, we've, have some unhappy people here and there. We all do. But to not let that completely tear you down and carry it with you. And to not let, when people do wrong you, don't carry that for the people who are still with you, because that's been significant. Is not
people that leave a victim and try to make us the villain.
Well, and us not. We used to be so big on, holding that. And then we're like, wait, we still have a team of people who are here and want to show up every day. So why would we not be our best for them? Let's move on and move forward. And so that, I feel like those things, to just, because I'm a person who I can let it get me down quick. And if I had advice for anybody, it would be that, to not
let it go.
Yeah, to let it go.
Love that. Great pieces of advice from both of you. Great conversation today. I'm really excited about the future of Genesis Salon, and I can't wait to see how you continue to lead and grow your business further. DeAnna and Sarah, thank you again so much for taking the time to share with all of us today on the Salon Scoop. It was a real pleasure to have this conversation with you.
Thank you.
Same. Thank you.
I think one thing that stood out to me the most in today's conversation is that, award-winning salons are not built by accident. They're built through thousands of intentional decisions every single day. Right? The way that you hire, the way that you lead, the way that you serve your guests, the way that you support your team, and the way that you show up in your community. And what's inspiring about Genesis Salon and these two ladies today isn't simply that they've won a lot of awards. It's that they've created a culture where excellence isn't reserved for special occasions. It's part of the everyday experience in their salon. And I think that's something that every salon can aspire to, regardless of your size, regardless of your location, or the number of years you've been in business. So here's my challenge to everyone listening today. Don't go out and try to implement everything that you heard today, right? There was a lot in today's episode. I do encourage you to go back and listen to it again, because there are so many nuggets, so many things that are going to hit you in different ways at different times in your journey. But I would encourage you to choose one idea, or one system, or one habit, and commit to making it part of your salon this week. Because small improvements repeated consistently are what build extraordinary businesses over time. That's the scoop for today, everyone. Sarah and DeAnna, congratulations once again on being named NAHA Inspiring Salon of the Year. Thank you for generously sharing your experience with our listeners. Great ideas become even more powerful when they're shared. So if you were inspired by today's conversation, share it with another salon owner who might appreciate it as well. Remember, sharing is caring. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much for listening to the Salon Scoop podcast. This show is produced by Salon S.O.S, a digital marketing agency by industry professionals for industry professionals. If you want simple and affordable solutions for any of your salon marketing needs, such as websites, client loyalty, Google search rankings, social media, or more, come visit us at salonsos.ca or on Instagram at salon.s.o.s. If you want to hear more episodes like this and help us continue to bring the industry great content, it would mean so much to us if you would support us in one of the following ways. Either share this episode with one other industry professional, and rate the show on Spotify, or write us a quick review on Apple Music. We want to hear your feedback. If you have follow-up questions or ideas for future episodes, please reach out. DM us on Instagram at salonus.s.o.s, or hit us up on our website again at salonsos.ca. Again, thanks so much for listening. Now go get your hustle on, keep smiling, and we'll catch you on our next episode.